Remember Victoria's Secret? Like way back when they were the name for lingerie, all the glitz and glamour, the wings, the whole shebang.
You were iconic.
Totally. But then things kind of shifted.
Yeah, they did. Big time.
So get this. On this deep dive, we're breaking down how Victoria's Secret is trying to make a huge comeback in the fashion industry. You won't believe the changes they're making.
Oh, I think your listeners might. It's a wild case study in how brands evolve, right? We're talking a total 180 everything from the models they use to their whole mission.
And get this. Leading the charge is this woman named Hillary. She's got some seriously bold ideas.
Like what?
Think inclusivity, diversity, sustainability, all those buzzwords. But here's the thing. It seems like Victoria's Secret is actually putting their money where your mouth is this time.
It's about time, right?
Right. But before we get into all that, we need to rewind a bit, yeah.
Absolutely. Back when Victoria's Secret could do no wrong, they were the brand, synonymous with luxury and aspiration. You know what I mean?
The 90s and 2000s were their golden age.
Exactly. The Angels, those unforgettable fashion shows, they were a cultural moment.
Everyone was watching, but what happened? Did people just stop wearing lingerie?
It's not that simple.
Yeah.
It was more of a cultural shift, Body positivity was gaining momentum, and people started calling out unrealistic beauty standards.
And Victoria's Secret, with their very particular image, weren't exactly on board with that message.
To put it lightly. And, shoppers, especially younger ones, they want brands that reflect their values, diversity, inclusivity.
A whole package.
Exactly. Victoria's Secret was starting to feel, well, a little out of touch. And let me tell you, their sales took a nosedive.
Not a good look. And then they pulled the plug on their iconic fashion show in 2019.
That was huge. The writing was on the wall.
Like the end of an era.
It was definitely a turning point. Even a giant like Victoria's Secret realized something had to change. Which brings us to Hillary and this fascinating new direction.
So Hillary walks in, new CEO, and she's basically got to perform a miracle, right? Bring this brand back from the brink. I can't even imagine the pressure.
It was a massive undertaking, no question. This wasn't just about, selling more bras and panties. It was about fixing a brand in crisis mode. Victoria's Secret had to completely ditch this outdated and honestly kind of exclusionary image.
And that's when things get really interesting. She didn't just slap a coat of paint on an old strategy. We're talking a complete reinvention.
Completely. One of the biggest changes was inclusivity, really making it a core value. They revamped their whole sizing system throughout that whole ideal body thing.
Which, come on, should have been obvious from the start. Women are all shapes and sizes.
You think so? But fashion industry, they've always been slow to catch up. Victoria's Secret making this move, it was huge for body positivity. It probably resonated with a lot of shoppers who felt left out for, ever.
And it wasn't just about size, was it? I remember seeing their campaigns and they were using way more types of models, like different ages, ethnicities, everything.
Exactly. They brought in models with disabilities, older models, really showcasing what women actually look like, not just the super narrow definition of beauty that Victoria's Secret was known for.
Which sounds great on paper, but did they actually follow through? What about ethical practices, sustainability, all that? Did they actually walk the walk?
Now, that's where it gets really interesting. See, alongside all those visual changes, Hillary made sustainability a top priority. This wasn't just some PR stunt. It was part of their DNA now.
So trading sequins for hemp.
Not quite that extreme.
Yeah.
But they started using a lot more eco-friendly fabrics. We're talking organic cotton, recycled materials, you name it. And really important here, they were transparent about their supply chain, which is huge with people wanting to buy ethically.
Okay, so more sizes, more diversity, more sustainable practices. We're talking a totally different company from the old Victoria's Secret. But the real question is, did it work? Did it actually click with shoppers? Actions speak louder than words. Right. Yeah, anyone can talk a big game, but did shoppers really buy it? Or was this whole thing just a shiny rebrand to trick people?
Right. It's easy to be skeptical.
Right.
And this is where their real beauty campaign comes in. This wasn't just a slogan. It was the whole philosophy behind the whole thing.
So what made this different from, every other marketing campaign out there?
Okay, so picture this.
Yeah.
Victoria's Secret, right? Famous for those super airbrushed photos, the whole 9 yards. Suddenly, they start using unretouched photos.
No way, seriously.
Seriously, stretch marks, cellulite, you name it. All the stuff we're usually told to cover up.
Yep.
It's front and center.
Wow, that's a bold move. Especially for a brand that, let's be real, was built on selling this super specific, some might say unrealistic, idea of beauty.
It was risky. for sure. Some people thought they'd scare away their core customers by going too far. But get this, it kind of had the opposite effect.
No way, really? How so?
It really seemed to click with people, especially younger shoppers. It felt real, relatable.
Mhm.
It was like Victoria's Secret was finally admitting that nobody actually looks like those touched-up photos. This wasn't just about selling lingerie anymore. It was like they were trying to change the whole game.
Yeah, it's like they realized they couldn't keep pushing those old school beauty standards. People are smarter than that.
Exactly. And they were smart about it. They took this new philosophy, this real beauty thing, and they made it visual. Remember how huge the Victoria's Secret fashion show used to be?
Oh, yeah. How could you forget?
Well, it came back in 2024. But let me tell you, it was a completely different ballgame.
Yeah, I read about this. People were freaking out. What was it like?
Night and day compared to the old ones. The models were all different ages, ethnicities, body types, and get this, they even had models with disabilities.
Whoa, they really went there.
They did. It was a powerful statement. This wasn't the old Victoria's Secret anymore.
So it sounds like they really put their money where their mouth is. No half measures. But the big question, did it actually work? Did it save the brand?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
It's still early, but things are looking up, I'd say. Word on the street is sales are up. But more importantly, people see the brand differently now, especially younger people, to the future, right? So, yeah, I think their message is resonating.
So this wasn't just some company trying to make more money. It sounds like something bigger is going on.
Totally. Victoria's Secret is like a microcosm for what's happening everywhere. Shoppers want more from brands now. They want inclusivity, sustainability, transparency, the whole 9 yards. They're voting with their wallets. You know what I mean?
It's like customers finally have the power and they're saying, get with the program or get lost.
Exactly. And this goes way beyond just clothes. It makes you think.
Yeah.
What makes a brand really matter in today's world? Is it the products? Or is it something more? Something that connects with people on a deeper level. Something to think about next time you're shopping.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive, but wow, what a story, right? Be sure to check it back next week because we're diving into something completely different. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.